Hello, Cancer. It's Missy Gordon, the Metamistic here. It's great to see you today. This is your reading for February 2023. If this reading resonates with you, Cancer, you can get the extended through my Patreon at patreon.com/themetamystic. I have changed platforms. I was using Etsy before, and I have switched to Patreon. So if you want to be part of my Patreon community, patreon.com/themetamystic. You can get the Cancer package. But if you want to get your Sun, Moon, and Rising for $10 more, you can get the All Signs package, where you can get all of the extendeds, Cancer. I'm going to do a 5-card spread for you today. Card number 1 is the main message. Cards 2, 3, and 4 are the guidance. And card number 5 is the outcome if you follow that guidance, Cancer. So let's see. The Death card flying out. Fresh from the oven is your transformation, Cancer, in the month of February. You know, I'm actually going to leave that guy out. Because that feels literally like the message. This is like the revelation of your transformation. Like, look, there's even a group of people here to see you. We dropped a card. With the Moon card here. It's been a long, winding road, Cancer. What I'm seeing right now is a body of water that in the shimmering light, you can look down into that water and see what's at the bottom. I'm seeing an interesting imagery, Cancer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck here. This is the imagery that I'm seeing, and then I'll get to the first card, which is our main message. What I'm seeing, Cancer, is it's so funny. It's like a before and after picture. Like, have you ever seen those commercials where it's like, we clean gutters. Here's a before picture where it looks like absolute garbage. And here's the after picture after our team comes through and shines it all up for you. It's like I'm seeing an imagery of like an old murky swamp that you can't see to the bottom of. And the after picture is what I just saw, which is like the sun shining through this clear body of water. I never even noticed this. But in the background of the Death card, there is a stream here. And Cancer, I'm not saying you know, that it's an analogy. I'm not saying like you're, an old murky swamp in January and in February you're right as rain. I'm saying it's like that's an example of like what I'm seeing with your transformation. It has something to do with clarity, but not just like mental acuity. It's not like, oh, Cancer is super sharp, super clear on their vision. That's part of it, Cancer. I believe that's part of the transformation that's happened, but there's something here about transparency. So let's go to the first card. Card number 1, Cancer, is the Ace of Wands. You're going to be inspired in the month of February, Cancer, to take action on things that have been laying dormant for a long time. I'm seeing somebody walk into a closet and pick up a old shoe box, and I'm seeing somebody go, and all the dust is coming off of the shoe box, and I'm seeing somebody open a shoe box, and there's all these pieces of paper in that shoe box with all these like ideas, which is totally the Ace of Wands. It's like there's all these ideas here, and you've had them the whole time, Cancer. There was just something with the spirit. It's not horticulture. There's something off with the fact that I saw that swamp. It was like a stagnant pool as opposed to this more flowing, clear stream that you could see through to the bottom of. This doesn't have to do with morality or anything, Cancer. Like, oh, I was, I wasn't revealing myself before. I was like an old, like, no, it's not about morals or anything like that. And I'm grasping for the message. It's like, because it's complicated. There's different like tiers to this, Cancer. There's different sides to this. And I think what people are going to see is just that you have transformed as a whole. But when it comes to you and how you're feeling is what I'm getting, Cancer, with the Nine of Cups. Look, we have the Tower here underneath the Nine of Cups. It took a lot to get here. So I'm feeling like the way you are going to feel, Cancer, is simply relief. It's kind of like pollution. Like people that don't take care of a body of water, like throw trash into the water, for example, or, there's something here, Cancer, about the fact that the way things were before is because the environment that you were in was polluting you. Yesterday specifically, sometimes I just zone in on words, Cancer. Like if I see it on a billboard, if I see it on somebody's t-shirt, if I see it wherever, I'll see a word and it's like the word becomes like neon lights, like I'm in Las Vegas or something. And it's like this whole download comes to me. Now, for example, I was looking at somebody's t-shirt and it said Poison on it, the band Poison. And I looked at the word poison and for some reason it like was super disturbing to me. Like the word poison, like somebody being poisoned. Sorry, Cancer. There's something here about that, Cancer, where it's like, you were poisoned. Like, I'm trying to think of a more, delicate way to say this, Cancer. And I'm not saying that in a patronizing way, like, oh, I have to be delicate with Cancer. I'm not saying that. I'm saying because people have not handled you well. Another imagery that I'm seeing is when you receive a package and there's that sticker on the side that says fragile. Like I have received a package before that said fragile on the side and I picked it up and all the glass was broken. You're hearing the glass shattered. Like the sticker was completely disregarded. Like there's something here that there was something in your past where you were disregarded. You went through a transformation here. I believe this is already, like we're in the wrap up right now, Cancer, with this death card. It's peppermint mocha. So what I was saying, Cancer, I have to get up and I have to restart my camera because this specific DSLR is a Nikon D3100. It only records for 10 minutes, so I have to get up and like restart it. But anyways, Cancer, what I was saying was about this death card. It's like there's a lot. There's a combination message. There's this what you feel. Sorry, I'm stuttering. What you feel with this transformation is totally different than what other people are going to experience from the outside looking into you. Like, you are going to feel relieved. Like, there was something about the environment you were in, the people you were around, maybe even toxic thoughts, which I completely understand because I literally have to work on my brain every single day. Every day, or I will fall back into the narcissistic abuse, like critical mind that I like have struggled with since I was a kid. So like what I'm seeing here, Cancer, because it seems like Ace of Wands, I just saw 11:11 on the clock. Ace of Wands almost seems to be like, what does this have to do with the intuitive messages that I've just explained? That's the point. That's the dichotomy that I'm trying to give. It's like people are going to see you this way. Like people are going to see you as like coming up with all these awesome ideas, like doing all these great things, coming out of your shell. They're going to be able to see clearly to the bottom of your quote unquote pool. Like you're going to become more vulnerable with people. I'm getting things are going to be more clear. Your intentions are going to be more on display, where before you had to cloak your intentions with like 3 layers because of the past poison that we talked about. There are certain, and I'm speaking from a place of, you know, if there was any abuse, and it can be small or it can be big. We've all experienced things that have made us like go into our shells. And if that happens over a prolonged period of time, it clogs up the system. And that's why it was like a quote unquote swamp before. Not because you even did anything, but it's like these systems that you had to set up, these layers, like say, for example, there are 3 layers in front of your intention, that when you give your intention out to the world, like say, for example, you're like, okay, I want to work with this person. Like I want to collaborate on like an art project with this person. Just take this as an example. It's like you may have like 3 layers of like backups, as opposed to just being like, hey, we should work together, because of the past abuse and like the word poison that I talked about, the idea that there was a fragile sticker on the side that was disregarded, all of these different examples, right, Cancer? There are reasons why we react how we react, and in my opinion, these things don't just go away. They need to be consciously reprogrammed, and I have always said this for years. Like, it's unfortunate that the victims are the ones who have to do the reprogramming. Like, they're the ones who got abused. They're the ones who got messed up from all this stuff. And I'm using the word abuse. You know, take that with a grain of salt. It doesn't have to be, it's all relative, right? I've always said that it's not fair, quote unquote, not fair, that the person is the one who's been hurt or the one who's been wounded is the one who has to do the fixing. But Cancer, I'm here to tell you that that is the case. That's been a hard realization that I've had to come to in my own life. But this is the thing. It's like the Chariot card, which is your card, Cancer. It's taking that control back. You're taking your power back, Cancer. This is not about like, you don't have to stay stuck. You have so many ideas to move you forward. You've gone through a transformation where this time it's not going to be like the last time. It's not going to be like all the other things that you've tried to start or all the other relationships that you've had or whatever this is here, Cancer, this spark here, this new idea, this new relationship, this new business, this new whatever this is. And I saw it as a box full of many ideas. So this could be like many things that are coming, that are like sprouting out of the ground is another imagery that I'm seeing in the month of February for you, Cancer. So yes, the point, all of that to say, this is like a dichotomy, this transformation. People are seeing you one way as like, wow, Cancer's coming out of the gate with all these ideas. They are transformed. They're a new person. But for you, this is literally just like getting you to neutral. This is like, I'm seeing somebody just kind of like bobbing in the waves on the water, wearing a life vest, where it's like, you are just happy to be above water right now, is what I'm getting here, Cancer. So that's the energy. and I deeply relate. So, card number 2, Cancer, is our guidance. The Page of Wands. See, you're being instructed to take these ideas and run with them with the Page of Wands. Or actually, I should do this. Here's the idea or ideas, Cancer. And then here's you taking the wand in your hand and making it a reality. Right? Like, it's you taking these ideas and literally taking them and, revealing them, acting upon them. Like, I've been reading James Altucher's book, Skip the Line, and, like, it's really been encouraging me about putting your ideas into action, because he talks about examples like, if you run these experiments, like, it could literally take you an hour, Cancer, to test if something is gonna, like, work for you or if you like the process of it. It could literally just take you an hour, where maybe it's been in your head for like 10 years, and then you realize once you test it out, you're like, okay, it's like kind of good, but I'm gonna add this instead, or I'm gonna subtract this, or I'm going to work with this other person because they're better at whatever that side of it is. Or it's like, it's a matter of like taking those, like, experimenting with the ideas as opposed to just like leaving them in the box. Card number 3 is the 9 of Pentacles. This is, I mean, it's a pretty clear message here. Like, as you take these ideas and you bring them forward, Cancer, it's looking like it's going to be very financially lucrative for you, as well as, like, everything we talked about before, about you feeling like you were in, like, maybe some toxic environments, people that didn't support you possibly, right? This woman here she is able to run her own life. Like, she has all of her ducks in a row. She's very confident. She's very sure of herself. She has a lot of wisdom with this, I guess it's a falcon because she's wearing the glove. So this falcon represents, and birds to me always represent like wisdom anyways, but it's like she's inspired by the divine to have more ideas. Like the Ace of Wands with the 9 of Pentacles, I feel like this combination is like, this is a business owner. This is like somebody who's more than capable of doing what you're doing, and you don't get to the 9 of Pentacles without being capable, Cancer. Another example that I like is from Mel Robbins. It's the confidence competence model. Let me go reset my camera really quick, then I'll share that. Okay, I'm back, Cancer. So the confidence competence model, or the confidence competency model, basically it's a very simple idea. It's like a chicken and the egg thing. It's like, well, do we need to be confident to become competent, or do we need to be competent to become confident? And this is what I mean. For example, it's like, say you have an idea and you're like, I don't know if it's going to work. You're only, or I don't have the confidence to, do it, basically. It's like, you're going to get the confidence. This is the action. You're taking the action. This is like putting the experiment into action. You're taking the idea and you're trying it out, Cancer, and that's what makes you feel more competent. Therefore, you will feel more confident. Even if the idea doesn't work. That's back to James Altucher. That's like one of his main points in the book that I've taken away from that book, Skip the Line. It's like, and shout out to Chris Reck, because that's where I got the idea from. And I listen to James Altucher on like multiple podcasts. He's a very strange Aquarius. I really appreciate how he speaks so strangely. It's like the wavelength of it, the fact that he pauses strangely and stuff, it just makes sense to me. I don't know how else to say it. But anyways, Skip the Line. James Altucher, one of his main points in the book that I take away is, aside from just like try your ideas and just try them, it's the idea of like, it doesn't have to work. that's what's been the thing that's kept me stuck, Cancer, is that I've felt like every idea that I have needs to be freaking brilliant and like change the world, when in reality, probably the first like 15 tries are going to be like mediocre at best. And that's the confidence competency rule. It's like, the more we do things, the more confidence we're going to gain, even if it doesn't work. That's my point. And that's my point of saying that reading James Altucher's book, Skip the Line, has been bringing to the surface more of these things that I've been dealing with for the past few years, Cancer, which is like, even if your ideas don't like work the way you want them to, it's not a loss. The only failure, this is another gem I picked up from that book. The only way that you can possibly fail, Cancer, is if you do not try. That's the only way that you can ever fail, is if you don't try. Anything else, it is not a failure. It's an experiment. You learn something from it. Okay. Card number 4 is the Emperor, bro. I mean, this is like, look at this transformation. If this ain't a transformation, Cancer, I don't know what is, my friend. Look at this. And I know this is not like necessarily accurate tarot. Like the 9 of Pentacles doesn't necessarily turn into the Emperor. You know, this is pre-Empress. But, I mean, the Emperor, the Empress are equal. So it's like, you know, but see, this is what I will say though, regarding that. The Emperor, though, the Emperor is good for what you're doing, right? Like, the Emperor is an action taker. The Emperor is great for what you're doing. I don't know how else to say it. Or what you're attempting to do, Cancer, here with these ideas, putting them into action here. I'm actually looking more at this 9 of Pentacles now as a feeling that you're feeling. And let's go back one more time to that dichotomy message that I was getting about the way people are seeing your transformation and the way that you're seeing your transformation. Like, and we also have 2 9s here, which is in and of itself a transitional period of time for you, Cancer. What I'm seeing with this 9 of Pentacles, though, is like, this is how you are going to, and probably already are feeling now. I'm feeling a lot of peace off of this card, a lot of strong inner confidence, like you cannot be moved. And you know what that energy is? It's the Emperor. The Emperor is that kind of, that just knowing inside of you, where it's like you don't have to get a bunch of attention, you know, you don't need a lot of accolades, you just move forward with your ideas, even if you feel like they're small, or maybe you're not like fully qualified or whatever, because it's a page, we have a page here, but you're not a page. But everybody's a page when they start something new, right, Cancer? Everybody is in this page energy, because this is excuse me, Cancer, this is like when you start a fire and you're just getting that fire going. That's like the page energy. It's like it's just getting the fire going. But by the time you get to the Emperor, I mean, people are like coming over and asking like, hey, can I sit around your fire? Like, we can't get ours to like build up like yours did. How did you build that fire? How did you place that wood to create this big, huge, beautiful, like beach bonfire? They're going to literally be asking you for advice, Cancer. So it might start out, and this reading's getting a little lengthy, so I got to speed it up here, Cancer. But this is an important message, is people are going to be seeing you as the Emperor. Again, it's another one of those duality things where with this transformation, you might feel like your Page of Wands, but really you're showing up as the Emperor, because you probably have other things in your life that have led you here, Cancer. This is not just like, you know, I'm gonna try my hand at golf. And hey, go for it. I'm just saying it's like you played other sports in the past, or maybe your friend or partner is an excellent golfer. So through the years you've gone golfing with them. You're kind of aware of golfing. You kind of understand the rules. That's what I'm getting here, Cancer. It's like you might feel like you're starting off in some sort of new arena as like a novice, but in reality, you're the emperor, and you're going to feel like the Nine of Pentacles, which is like very good in your own skin. So that's a lot, Cancer. There's a lot going on for you in the month of February. So with that said, let's go to our outcome. Card number 5 for Cancer, February 2023 is the 7 of Pentacles. You know what I'm seeing this as is your experiments, right? Because this can be a card of like, you look at what you have produced here and you decide to go another direction. Or you look at what you produced here and you're like, I'm going to continue with this. I'm going to continue to grow this. Or maybe I'm going to use a different sort of, chemical, or like, okay, this kept the bugs away better. Or I'd rather use something more natural because I don't want, this to be in my garden, whatever. I'm just trying to think of examples, Cancer. I'm seeing this card as you working on your experiments in the month of February. And I mean, with the 7 to the 9, something's working, right? So keep trying. Keep waving your magic wand, Cancer, because that's pretty much what this is. This is like a manifestation wand. You think it up in your head and you act on it. That's all manifestation is, in my opinion, right? I do believe we work with universal forces that make these things, that put power behind us and that like connect us with the right things and energies and people. But at the end of the day, what's manifestation? You come up with an idea and you put it into action. That's manifestation, in my opinion. So, much love, Cancer. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. If you would like to get your extended for the month of February, remember you can purchase the Cancer package through my Patreon, which is patreon.com/themetamystic. Or if you want to get your sun, moon, and rising for $10 more, you can purchase the All Signs package. Much love to you, Cancer, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.